Hello creatives, welcome back to my channel, and this is your first time here, welcome in. So it's Armena and I'm glad to have you here with me today. What I'm working on today is a dress that I'm creating for the Sewrority Retreat. This is the final retreat of 2025 and I'm looking forward to attending. It's next week and it's in Texas. So before I give you any more details, let me tell you, it's time to do some housekeeping. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe at this time. Turn on your notifications, like, and share. Now let's get into the details of what this dress is, what I'll be using when I make it, and all the details of how I put it together. Let's go. So let's get into the details. I'm super excited to share that I will be attending the final sorority retreat this year on next week, and I'm super excited. There's going to be a whole bunch of activities going on that I'm looking forward to, from the sewing to the fabric shopping to the greeting. Everything about it I'm just excited about because I've been watching everybody else's retreat and I've been jealous. Ever since everybody's retreats have started, I've been jealous. But not in a bad way. I've been like jealous, like, yeah, wait till I get there, wait till I get there. Y'all better have a good time because when I get there, it's going to be off the hook. I've been jealous because I can't wait to go, and I'm super excited to be going next week. So one of the things that you need to bring with you for the retreat is a white dress for the pinning ceremony. And I have two pins. Let me show you guys my pins. And I've had these pins for years. When they first started sorority, I bought a pin, and then I think like a year after that I bought another pin. So this is the first pin I initially bought. It's nice, right? And then they came out with this pin. So I want both of my pins pinned on. I want them both pinned on me, baby. So I have two pins that I'm taking with me to the retreat to get pinned. And I'm super excited and honored to be a part of this sorority. And I'm looking forward to enjoying time with all my fellow sewers. I'm really looking forward to meeting some sewers that I've never met in person before, that I've only seen on social media. And that has been amazing this summer when I went to some other sewing events, just meeting people that you talk to online and you sew with online, you bond with online, and meeting them in person. So I'm looking forward to the retreat and I'm preparing. So what am I making? So I put up a story on Instagram and asked you guys what dress I should make. I gave you guys a few selection, and this is the dress that you guys chose, and I'm going to go with your decision because I think you guys made a nice decision. So I picked this one from the choices that I had posted, and you guys wanted me to do this one. So I am doing this one in the white. It's going to be, these two are the same version. This is a throwback Mimi G. This is one of her older patterns. I don't think it's in print anymore, but I love this dress. And the thing is, I've never made it. Now, the tricky thing is, and it's not tricky, it's just kind of like my oversight, but not really my oversight. Because at the time when I bought this, I probably could have fit the 18. Right now, I'm probably a little beyond an 18. But the good thing is when you're working with knits, you kind of have a little bit to play with. So I have already did my measurements, and I probably need to add like about 2 inches in the hip area. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I might just add an inch to the front and the back on both sides. I'll see when I get to cutting how I feel. So the fabric that I am using is this white fabric, which I found, and I think it's really nice. I was going to go with a satin or this and a that. And, you know, it's a pinning ceremony, but I don't want to go with the shiny. I think that's too much. I want a nice white dress, but subtle. First of all, I don't even really do white, so that's going to be a stretch for me. But since I have to do the white, I decided to just get something that was a little more subtle because I think the dress is pretty enough that the style of the dress speaks on its own. So this is the fabric that I got. I don't know if you can see it. It's really nice though. You see, there you go. You see how it has like a rope design on it? It's very pretty in person. And when I went to the store and I was buying, this lady went behind me and bought the same thing. I'm like, but I don't care because we don't know each other and we ain't going to the same event. So yes, this is the white fabric that I got. And it's a 2-way stretch knit. So it stretches this way. So it gives a lot of stretch. Let me see if it's 4-way. Oh, they said it was 2-way, but this This baby goes 4 ways. And that's always a plus, because that means you're going to have stretch and you're going to have in all directions. And it's not really lightweight. Sometimes when you get a 2-way stretch, this is the trick when you get a 4-way stretch and a 2-way stretch. You can get a 4-way stretch fabric when it's lightweight, but the problem with it when it's a 4-way stretch and it's lightweight, it droops. And that's a dress that you don't want to droop. If you have something that you're making that you want it to have that droop, then it's fine. But not this dress. But the good thing is this is a stable knit. When I say a stable knit, it has body to it. So when you make it, even though it stretches, it's not going to droop because it has a nice weight and a nice body to it. But I just love this fabric. I love that cable knit design on it. It's so pretty. It's even more beautiful in person, but I can't wait to show you guys what it's going to look like. So we're going to get started sewing with the dress. It looks like it's pretty straightforward. It looks like the most complicated part of the dress is probably, it has elastic inside of it. So you basically do the front and the back, and then you attach elastic down the side so you get the ruching, if you can see. The ruching on both sides, and then you're going to probably have to do it again to do the ruching for the sleeve, because the sleeve has a ruching as well. And then I think there's some elastic that goes at the top of the shoulder, and that's probably just to like hold your dress up. So we're going to go through all of this. Again, you know me, guys, I do not do tutorials, but by all means, watch along and see how I do. See if I screw it up or if I make it to the end. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to start with, I have already cut out my pattern pieces. That's another thing about this pattern that's pretty good that I enjoy, because you know me, I love patterns that don't have a lot of pieces. And this pattern just has the front, the back, the sleeve, the piece that goes around the shoulder. So that's 4 pieces. And then you have the pieces, the guide for the elastic. So this pattern has minimal pieces, which of course is always a plus in my book. So it's literally just you sewing the front to the back and then adding your elastic, and then I believe you do your sleeves and you add your elastics, and then you add the piece around here, and then you do the sleeves and then you add the piece around here and then add the elastic, and then probably you just closing it up. So this should be a quick sew. But yeah, let's get into sewing. I'm going to start by adding the first direction that I have sewed in the instructions, which is you basically sew your front and back pieces together. So I'm going to get started with that. And then when I come back, we'll probably regroup and I'll show you how I start to put in the elastic. But I will show you, of course, what I already sewed already. So let's get started. As mentioned, we have the pieces cut out. This is the sleeve piece. I'm getting ready to pin this down and cut it out. This is the piece that goes over the shoulder. You cut it on the fold. So you cut the shoulder piece, which is called the collar on the fold. And you cut 1. Then you're going to cut your sleeve piece. And you're going to cut 2 of the sleeve. They're not cut on the fold. And then you're going to cut the 2 main body pieces, which I already cut out. Just a FYI, I already cut this out because I kind of had started to say I was going to sew this, and then I said, well, I should bring you guys with me on the journey. So you cut out the front and the back pieces. It's cut on the fold. The front and the back pieces are cut on the fold, and you cut 1 of each on the fold. And that's your pieces for this dress. So the pattern pieces you have is the front and the back. That's those 2 pieces. Then you have the sleeve piece, like I mentioned earlier. You have the collar piece. That's 4. And then all the 3 remaining pieces are elastic guides. So as you guys can see, I already started, and I already sewed my front and my back together. So basically what you do is you just join the front and the back together on the sides. And one thing you want to do when you do it, you want to transfer your markings. And the markings that I transferred was the markings for the, and you can't see it because I use a marker that's like a disappearing ink. But there's 3 marks on the side because this is where you're going to line up your elastic. Because the elastic basically is going to be inserted in this piece right here on the side of the dress. On both sides. So You probably can't see it because it's very faint. And it's a good thing to get that. If you can go to your, I got mine from Hobby Lobby. Let me show it to you. Hold on, wait a minute. So I got this pen from Hobby Lobby. I think it's from Sewrority, whatever company that the Hobby Lobby uses. But the thing I like about this is one side is washable, which is the blue side, but the purple side disappears, which is really cool. So it's, you know, good to have these things. And as you guys know, my famous basket. Oh, guys, I got a new basket. Remember I had that little short basket? Baby, I outgrew that. This is my new basket for my sewing supplies. And as you guys know, I keep a basket on my table with all my sewing supplies. And these are my new pattern weights. Remember, I got these? And these are the old ones because, you know, I ain't getting rid of these. These are still fly. And, you know, it has all my other goodies in here. My rotary cutter, my scissors, my tape measure. You know, all. If you want to see what I keep in my basket, I have a video on my YouTube channel. Check it out. So that's my sewing basket. These are my new Kia keys. Let me tell you something about these keys. These scissors are fire. They are so sharp. Cut like everything I cut. It feels like I'm cutting through butter. They cut so good. So I'll give y'all a little more update about these scissors. These scissors are life, baby, life. So back to the dress. So I wanted to see if I can show y'all like how you mark. First of all, you always transfer your markings from your patterns, right? So you can't see it because actually I did this last night because I cut it out last night. Just in case I needed to run to the fabric store and get extra fabric today before I started sewing and sharing it with you guys. But I had just enough. But anyway, look, this is the mark. If you look really close, see? And it was darker than that yesterday, but it's starting to disappear because it disappears on its own. But, so I marked over here for the, because this is the one that you match up with the sleeve. So I marked over there. And you know how when you see the sleeve, it usually has like 2 arrows or 1 arrow. I think the back is usually 2. So I did my back markings. If you can see them, yeah. And then down the side, you do the 3 markings for the elastic, which I did here. 1, 1, 2, 3. So this is already sewn together. And I kind of sewed this together because I wanted to try it on to make sure it fits my hips, and it does fit my hips. So I kind of went ahead and sewed this, guys, and jumped the gum. So I forgive me for starting, but I wanted to make sure I added enough inches into the hips that the dress would actually fit me. So we're going to go back to the machine. I already sewed the seams down the side, and according to the instructions, the next step is to add the elastic in both sides of the dress. So I'm going to go to the machine and we're going to start doing that now. Okay, it calls for a 1/4 inch elastic down the side. So I have my elastic, and as I said to you guys before, there's 3 pieces for elastic guide. This is one of them, and we're going to cut one of these. It says to cut 1. So we're going to cut one of those, and then we have this other piece. This one says cut 2, and this is the side. So this one is the neck elastic guide. This one is the side elastic guide. Can you guys see? There you go. So there's the side elastic guide, and we cut 2 of these. That goes down the piece that I was showing you on the side. And then this is the neck elastic guide. So elastic must go around the whole thing. So we'll see when we get to that part. And then there's more and more elastic guide piece. This one is the collar elastic guide. Okay, we'll find out what this is, but whatever it is, we cut 2. So the elastic that they would call for this pattern is a 1/4 inch. This is the elastic that I got. If you guys want info for this elastic, I will leave a link below. It is an affiliate link, but I will leave a link below to the Amazon description where I bought this elastic from if you need it. I got it because it was quick and I needed it in a hurry. You could always get elastic from WeWack or Warwack. I always say that wrong, but you could always get it from there. You could always get elastic from Hobby Lobby in person, and places like that. I needed this quick, fast, in a hurry, and it was only $4.99, and I think it's like 11 yards, so I was like, that was really worth it. So I just grabbed this off of Design. So I'm going to cut the elastic. We need 2 this length. So I'm just going to cut 1. And when you cut your elastic, whenever you're cutting elastic for something you're measuring, don't pull the elastic. Like, if you can, just like gently lay it down in place and then cut it. If you guys want to see a video that she made that step-by-step takes you through this dress, watch it. It is on YouTube, Mimi G Style, and the pattern number is 8507, I think. Oh no, the pattern number is 8045. So if you want to watch the video, watch it because she has a good tutorial. I'm going to sew my elastic down. You're supposed to attach it to the side seam as you see I have done. And then as you sew it down, we're going to stretch it so that it aligns and fills in the space that we're seeing. Okay, so we're going to do that now. Completed our elastic down the side of both sides of our dress. Now we're going to work on our sleeves. I transferred all my markings. If you can see, they are there. You can't really see them, but you know, those are the markings that we needed to transfer. And what we're going to do now is the next step is to put a seam down the sleeve. Now that we have our sleeves done, the next step is you're supposed to fold under 1/4 of an inch, and then you fold under again, and this is so you can create your hem, and then you create your hem, and we're going to do that to both sleeves now. Now we're going to grab our clips or our pins or whatever you want to do, whatever works best for you, because now we're going to attach our sleeves to our dress. Okay, let me move my baby out the way. And we are going to go to our dress. We're going to find one side of our dress. And the way that we attach our sleeves is we attach them right sides together. And we're going to line it up with the sleeve. We're going to open. We're going to press this open. And we are going to add our sleeve. Right sides together. So that's why I turned my sleeve on the right side. We're going to insert this inside of the dress so that way we have them together. And we're going to match up that side seam. Match it up like a sandwich. And I love clips. If you do not have clips, I say get you some. Again, I can leave some links below to the supplies that I'm using so that you guys, if you need to grab them, because I got my clips off of Amazon. Again, I will tell you, like I said before, Wawak, I think that's how you pronounce it, W-A-W-A-K. They have clips as well. I think Amazon is a little cheaper. I'm not going to lie. I bought some clips from Temu. They were trash. They were trash. I don't know if anybody else has ever bought any from Temu, but for me, I feel like they wasn't strong enough and they popped really quick. The ones I got from Amazon, they have been working really good. And I've had them for a while, like over a year. And they've been doing pretty good. The only time they pop is like when I know I'm using them on something that's too thick. So, Yeah, I could leave a link to the ones that I buy off of Amazon for you guys. If you want to grab them off of Amazon, you can grab them off of Amazon. So you're just going to attach your sleeve like this. Remember, you're putting right sides together. And you're going to do that on both sides. We're going to take it to our machine and we're going to sew around this piece that we just clipped on both sleeves. And that'll attach it to our dress. Let's do that now. Okay, the next thing that we're going to work on is the collar. So the first thing that we do for the collar is we sew together the center back seam. By the way, after you'll know that you sewed this piece together correct, because you should have a big tube now. Okay? The next step that she has you do is you fold it in half, wrong sides together, and you're gonna line up the seams like that. Again, another sandwich. And we're gonna do that all the way around. And I believe she said you use a base stitch. So you go to your machine and you find the longest sleeve stitch you have. Mine is a 5, so that's what I put mine on. And we're going to baste around this. But we did our center back seam. Now, I'm watching Carmen. She's making some leggings. Ignore her. Ah! Okay. So, this is our center back seam. So, you see your center back seam is right here. What you want to do is you want to find your markings, and I don't know if you can see them. You can probably see here and here. Right there. That's where we're going to do our elastic. So we're going to fold it out this way. And we're going to use our side elastic. This is the side elastic that we cut. And we're going to do just like we did on the sides of our dress. We're going to attach our elastic. Now we're going to go to our machine and we're going to stretch as we sew, and we're going to sew this down on both sides. I'm going to do that now. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's done. As you can see, it has the gather on the sides. And here's our center back. I'm assuming this is the front. There you go. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, the next thing that she tells you to do is to, let me see something. You're supposed to attach your collar to the top of this. I'm just being nosy. Y'all don't look at me. Okay, it's looking right. It's looking right. I wasn't sure, so I had to check. Bear with me. Let me sew it. Next you're supposed to do is work with your dress. So turn your dress on the right side. Now, when you turn your dress on the right side, your collar will still be turned to the inside. So when you look at your dress, if you make this dress, you should be seeing the outside of your dress. It's nothing wrong. It's supposed to look like that. And you're going to be like, but what the heck is going on with this collar? Because now I see the wrong side of the collar. This stuff is hanging out. It's supposed to look like that. You'll see the wrong side of your dress. And then when you look inside, you'll see your elastic that you added for your outside. Because after we add our elastic to the outside, to this outside piece of the top of the dress, we're going to flip this over. Okay, it'll all make sense when I'm done. It'll all make sense when I'm done. So she said the way you start is we're going to do the elastic. Make sure you have your elastic turned the right way. Like make sure it's not twisted or nothing like that. And you're going to overlap it 5/8 of an inch. I used my ruler to measure to see what 5/8 was. And I tabbed it off with this pin. So you're going to just make sure you have your elastic straight. And we're going to overlap it. She wants you to overlap it like this and stitch it together. So let's do that now. Now we have our 4 points that we need to sew down together. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull each section. So let's do that now. We're going to attach this to it gets attached to the outside of the dress with the collar turned inside, with the right side, with the wrong side of the collar to the, and this is the right side of the dress. So when you're sewing this, you should be seeing the right side of the dress. And when you look inside where the collar is, you should be seeing the wrong side of the collar. If that makes sense, the side with the elastic on it should be here. And out here, you should see your right side. What you're going to do is you're going to sew this elastic down to the seam allowance all the way around. Within the seam allowance, all the way around, okay? Okay, so now that we sewed this down all around, we are going to flip our collar outside our dress. And as you can see, now you see a clean finish around the top, and you see your dress is turned out. See, just cut this out, cut this excess string, and you see your dress is turned out. See? And you see my color? You see my label? Ah! Okay. Y'all know how labels make me excited. And you know it's my label. I ain't talking about nobody else's label. My label. So anyway, this is the side of your dress. Look, it's looking cute. This is your sleeve. So you see how when you have your sleeve, you got your ruching on your sleeve. And then, if we turn our dress around, you see the ruching on the side. Ah! I'm getting excited already. And then the only thing left for this dress now is to hem the bottom. And baby, you done. So let me hem the bottom, get that done. And then I'll see if I can throw it on the mannequin so you guys can kind of look and see how it's going to look. So there's two ways that she says that you can finish this dress. She said you can use a serger. My serger is sick. It's broken. I need a new one. If anybody wants to gift me one, I will take it. Anyway, or you can do a turn up hem of 1/4 inch and then turn it up another 1/4 inch. And she said you can just do a stitch around the bottom. So that's the option I'm going with because I do not have a serger. So I'm going to just do that. Okay, it's all hemmed. I put a hem in it. This dress needs a really good pressing, by the way. I don't know if I want to put it in the cleaners or if I'm going to press it myself. But let's put it on the mannequin and see what it looks like. Okay, guys, here she is. So as you can see, she has the collar. She has the ruching on the sleeve. She has the ruching down the side of the dress. And this is her back. That's her back. And yeah. She looks good. She looks good to go. She looks good to go. Of course she needs a good steam, a good press. But so far, she's looking the part. All right. Hey guys, so that's it for now. No more sneak peek. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do it now. Take care, guys. See you later in the next video. Bye. Of course, you know I had to give y'all a little preview. Ain't I cute? Bye.